massive, massive.
And good evening. Welcome to Hammers Football TV on this Thursday evening, hosted by myself, Budgie, and my guest to my left, Jeff, the Bowling Lounge. No Tony tonight. Unfortunately, at the 11th hour, got called into work and didn't want to let you guys down with the content, so asked us two to fill in for himself. How are you, Jeff?
I'm good, Budgie. Thanks for inviting. Well, it was Tony invited me, but thanks for having me, Budgie. I had a few problems in the week, otherwise I would have been back sooner. So,
your Wi-Fi went down the other day, I know, didn't it?
Yeah, we lost internet in the whole area for about 24 hours or so. I don't know what it was, but
cool.
Nice way to ease back into the YouTube world. So hi to all the viewers and chatters. Good to see some of you guys. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing you on Tuesday on the talk show.
Yes, we're back Tuesday with the talk show, which will be on the Bowling Lounge, of course. So any of you guys that haven't had a look over there yet, please do show your love. Do a bit of subscribing and stuff. It's all free content. Let's see who's in the house. We got Harry. We have got Harry who's in the house. We got Froggy. Good evening, Froggy. How are you, mate? Words and pictures.
Words, can see it.
Those little figures on the waiting page look like the import-export boss and his minder. Yeah, I know what you mean. Word says, good evening, Tony and Budgie. It's actually Budgie and Jeff tonight, but thank you so much for your comments. Brendan says, evening, Tony, Budge, chatters. Again, we do have a guest speaker this evening. Usual, good evening all, he says.
Usual.
How are you, usual? Aces says Tony. No, he's not here, Aces, but he will be. He's trying to watch on his phone with his earbuds while he's at work. So I know he's kind of keeping an eye on things. Tone, secret squirrels and all that, mate. Right, and then he goes on to say hello to me, of course. And I would imagine he will be saying hello to you in a minute, Jeff. Brendan saying hello to everyone else. I'm going to miss a couple of these. 2 days, gang, says Frog. Yeah, mate, 2 days. I'm actually looking forward to the start of the season, Jeff. What about you, mate?
I am quite looking forward to it, actually. I'm quite glad to have a little break off the summer in the YouTube and miss out on all the transfer saga stuff and trying to do videos and talk about it all the time. And I've watched lots of other people do it and I've quite enjoyed it. It's been entertaining, but yeah, it's just a load of nonsense in the main, isn't it? Like 200 odd players. Like, we've signed 4, haven't we?
Something like that, mate. Yeah, 4 or 3, 4, something like that.
Can't be bothered with it. So I'm glad to be out of the break, and I've enjoyed watching all the hysteria around how dreadful it's going to be, and then the optimism through some of the pre-season, and maybe it might not be as bad as it is. And it's going to be here now, and Saturday we'll find out where we are exactly.
Yeah, I think, from what I've seen in the main on the pre-season stuff, I've been quite happy with the introduction of Juve. I think he's been a really good purchase for us, I've got to be honest. I'm really happy that he's showing that he's capable of doing exactly what we need done on that side of the pitch. It's about time we had somebody on the left that can captain that left-hand side, that can really boss it. And he looks like a young lad that can do it. So I'm very happy with that. And I think there's been some improvement with other players in the squad. I know none less than what's his face up front?
Fulkrug.
That's the fella. I think he's shown what a capable player he is. Just hope we can keep him fit, Jeff, to be fair.
Yeah. I think it's a big ask of him to be starting and playing every game and expect him to come through the season unscathed, if I'm being honest. And the worrying thing is that the senior replacement for him is Callum Wilson.
Absolutely.
But hey, we are where we are. I'm sure you've probably spoke about it enough, Budgie, so I don't need to say anything.
Well, no, not really, mate. I mean, last night Kieran and I were chatting about it, and he made a really valid point, saying that for the players that we have got in, there's only one that's a surefire, first team starter, providing he's fit, which is Juve. He's, Callum Wilson's no guarantee of starting a game, and any of the other players we brought in, no guarantees they're going to start, But with Juve, there is. I mean, you can see it straight away. That boy's going to fit in. I'm really, really quite happy with him. As I said, I need to just quickly listen to a message from Darren. Bear with me for a second.
No
problem. Yeah, Jeff, give us a little idea of what you would like to see, coming into the season. Like the first couple of games, bear in mind the first game's away at Sunderland, and then the second one next Friday at home against Chelsea.
What would I like to see? 6 points would be nice.
Well, of course. I'm going to type this message.
Don't really expect to see that. Well, I think pre-season has showed us what I've seen of it, that we get quite a lot of what we got last season in the main, but with some better bits around it. And I'm just hoping that the better bits are the bits that are starting to develop, and it's going to get better and better as the season goes on, and the team's going to become better, because against Lille, when we pushed a bit higher up the pitch, really harried and hassled them, that was really good to see. And we forced errors out of them. But you can't, I don't think we've got the team to be able to do that for sustained periods. So I do think we've got to pick our moments when we do that.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
think that we've got we definitely haven't got the midfield, the legs through midfield to sustain like pushing up the pitch for the majority of the game. So we've got to pick and choose the little moments when we spring them traps and try and force errors. And I thought we did that in moments really quite well against Lille.
Yeah.
So if we're going to hone those sort of things, we can expect some good moments in games. We still look like we don't create very, very many chances, which is a bit worrying. But on the positive side of that is, out of the few chances that we have created, we've scored in every game. Bowen and Fulkrug have been scoring with regularity in that formation. Don't particularly like it, but Bowen and Fulkrug seem to be getting a bit of an understanding, and they've both been scoring in pre-season. So let's hope that trend continues. I'm not a big fan of the formation myself, Budgie. I don't know about you.
I've got major reservations, I have to be honest.
He seems pretty married to it, though, so it looks like it's what we can expect to see.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have a guest coming in soon as well, by the way. I get what he's trying to achieve, right? I think that the concept of 3 centre backs and 2 flying wing backs is quite a secure back line, providing the flying wing backs have got defensive capability. Now, clearly, Wan-Bissaka has. Not so sure about young, what's his name? Walker Peters. No,
Walker Peters. I think Walker Peters is quite a sound signing.
Okay. Well, I don't know an awful lot about him, Jeff. I'm just trying to be kind of objective. Okay, so he's got quite good defensive capabilities as well, then, yeah.
Yeah, and I just think if you're looking at a backup to Wan-Bissaka, which is essentially what he is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who can equally do a job on the other side if you come down to injuries or suspensions and stuff like that, and everything's getting spread a bit thin. I just think he's a really handy player to have around the place. So
I mean, I'm thinking also that should anything happen on that left-hand side, and we do need replacement over there, I'm thinking that Wan-Bissaka gets the nod over there, and Walker Peters gets the nod on the right, because he's very comfortable on the right. I don't know how comfortable he is on the left.
He can play both sides, can't he?
He can.
Wan-Bissaka has shown that he can play both sides. I personally don't want to see Wan-Bissaka on the left, because he's the best right back we've got at the club. So if he's playing at right back, I see in emergencies we could switch him across. If an emergency situation came, you could play Mavropanos at right back and put Wan-Bissaka at left back. But then you're kind of scraping the barrel and you're juggling the pack. I want to see Wan-Bissaka at right back every time if we've got a Jiff, a Scholes, and a Walker Peters that can play in that left back role.
Yeah, I get you completely. Harry says that we're nailed on 6 points the first 2 games.
Friday night, first home game, that's a bloody nuisance, isn't it?
It is, but I mean, I've actually got the details of our last 5 games against both of our first 2 opponents. And Sunderland, we've had 2 draws and 3 losses. Both of the draws being our away games, and both were 2-2 draws. Our last 3 home games against Sunderland, we won all 3 by 1-0, which is quite, you know. So judging by that, this should be a 2-2 draw if you're going by history. I think it's going to be 2-1 to West Ham, but that's just my own personal feeling.
I think Stadium Light's going to be absolutely rocking. I think the players are going to have their tails right up. First game in the Premier League.
And look at some of the players they picked up.
Xhaka, I think, is
oh my God! I mean,
terrific signing for them.
What a signing that is!
Imagine a promoted side, and you've got someone like him in there with his experience.
But that's everything. I mean, to me, that's very similar to when Middlesbrough came up, and who was the Brazilian they got? Rivellino, wasn't it? Or someone like not Rivellino.
Yeah, I know. Ravanelli, wasn't it?
Ravanelli. Yeah, Ravanelli. That's him. Yeah. And he done wonderful stuff for them. Wonderful stuff. And I'm expecting exactly the same from Granit Xhaka. I mean, we all know the strength of him anyway. He played in the Premier League before. So we all know how good he is. And he killed it when he was away. When he was playing, I can't remember who he was with now.
Leverkusen he was with.
Leverkusen, that was it. Yep, Leverkusen.
And he played very well.
It's going to be a very difficult game for us. But I'm still thinking that we're going to nick a 2-1 win.
Well, here's the other thing I was saying about the positives of pre-season. We've scored in every game. So that's good. Strikers are scoring. That's good. But I think we've also shown that we're quite capable of still leaking goals, and defence or midfield is capable of making misplaced passes. Areola's definitely capable of making a mistake. Yeah. And I think we're going to leak a goal. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in first 15 or 20 minutes, and then we have to chase the game, and I think we'll end up with a 1-1 draw. That's what
as much as I hate to say it, because I really want this guy to be this year's Hammer of the Year, and I mean this most sincerely, I think that the goal that we concede will be laid firmly at the feet of Todibo as well.
You want Todibo to be Hammer of the Year?
I like him. I really, really like him.
I want Freddie Potts to be Hammer of the Year.
That's a great shout, Jeff. What a great shout. I just want to bring your attention to this. Usual saying, it appears the majority of the squad were glad to see the back of Kudus. And you know what? I think the tempo of camaraderie has really lifted, this season in the early
spirit in the camp seems
it
really
seems
high.
To be really sharp, doesn't it? Really good.
Yeah, and I think the club are trying to promote that through their. I don't watch a lot of that stuff what they put out, but I hear about it and you see bits and pieces of it.
Yeah,
and they're trying to really promote and make a big thing of that. Which why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah,
I think it comes through on the pitch, Budgie. That's where I think it shows. You can see it.
And what I've also liked in them videos, Jeff, is that you might see a little one of those circles going on where they're having to pass and they got 2 in the middle and they've got like 8 players around the outside or whatever, and they're passing, they're counting the passes. You're seeing that going on, and then you're seeing another section of that going on with one of the other coaches. And then you might see, say, for example, Paqueta and Ollie Scholes or something coming back from a jog or whatever, really having a good laugh and, spending time just having fun. You know what I mean?
But I think the team bonding stuff and one thing or another that they've been doing is obviously paying dividends, because the buzz around the club and coming out the club from all angles about that is very, very positive from the backroom staff.
Dare I say it? It's back. It's
Players.
back to how it was during the Moyes era. You know, at that point where nothing went wrong, everything they touched turned to gold. You know, that kind of thing. It's very similar to that, and I think even more so because I think there's a lot less restriction on the players to be themselves now. You know, I think although Graham Potter is, you know, a great coach and he is the boss and everything else, I think he allows them to just express themselves during training and on the pitch.
Do you think they express themselves much on the pitch? Because
I think some of them
in
do.
quite a controlled way, don't we? There's not really lots of expression in the way we play.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's certain players that have really thrived under Potter. I would go so far as to say that I think Jarrod Bowen has probably regressed slightly under Graham Potter, but that's because he's got the weight of the armband on his arm, I believe. Anyway.
How many goals and assists did Bowen get last year then?
What was it, about 18, wasn't it? Goals
No,
and assists.
Is that not good? Is that not?
That's a decent return. That's a decent return.
Bowen didn't have a good season. Lots of the consensus from lots of people, Bowen didn't have a good season. He's not playing well. No, he didn't have a good game. But he's had 18 goals or 18 goals.
18 goal involvements, I think. Somebody in the chat will probably correct me.
Yeah, I'm sure that someone in the chat will definitely know what the figures are. But it's not. Is that bad then?
No, it's not. 18 goal involvements is not bad. In fact, that's bloody good.
If that's a poor season, by the way, if you're saying that's a poor season.
Well, the thing is, I mean, there were a lot more goals in the previous season than goal involvement.
I mean, we create fuck all chances, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, if we create 3 chances a game,
another really
conversion.
Yeah, another really decent point that Kieran came up with last night was that we've not got centre backs scoring goals anymore from the corners and free kicks and coming up behind the midfielders and, you know, getting the balls that are coming out to them.
But we ain't got a centre back that can head the fucking ball, have we?
Well,
I mean, you're going, have we got a Zuma or a Dawson that can crash in there? They can't even head the ball in their own box, never mind the fucking opposition box.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you know, and you know, Kieran was saying that, you know,
sounds dreadful. It all sounds all negative and all this, saying it like this.
Without the likes of your Ogbonners and your we even mentioned Winston Reid, you know, because he was always good for half a dozen goals in a season, wasn't he? You know what I mean? And you know, we're lacking that. So, you know, like Happy Amaret put in the comments last night. You know, what about the you know, where are the goals coming from? And I actually agreed with her. I thought that was a really, really, really valid comment. Good evening, Mama Flossie. Thank you for joining. Is this an Isaac free zone? Yes, my love, it is. In fact, this is a Toon free zone. And feel free to really get stuck into the Mackems, because that's who we got on Saturday, babe. So you're really, really welcome to give it the big one. All right, babe? Not a problem at all. Where are we? Here we go. Right. And a member for 8 months. Wow. Good going, kiddo. Good going. What's this? Stone Island Hammer. He says, he's all good. Thanks for understanding. Trying to get this YouTube stuff up and had a row with a spud at work, so I need to do it. Laugh out loud. got one proper video up so far and some shorts. Well, good stuff, mate.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck for that. And should you need any help or whatever, just reach out, mate. Reach out on Facebook. You can find me there, and find most people that do YouTube that use Facebook will be very helpful. Not many people will tell you to piss off, and that's a fact. Just a moment. Let me just have a quick word with my lady.
All right, Budgie. I guess I'm supposed to be filling in here. I can't even see the comments or scroll the comments, so I can't do much with that chat. And I don't even know what we were talking about. Not a lot before there, so I can't even carry on with it. Wish you'd give me a heads up about that. Can't scroll the chat. Here he is. He's back now.
I am back. Sorry, my apologies.
I was just going to do something with the comments, but I can't scroll the chat or display the chat, can I? Because I'm a guest this evening.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Words and Pictures says Sunderland will be thinking we're the type of club they can get 3 points out of at home. And they probably do feel like that, mate. They probably bloody do.
I would agree with that. I think if you're Sunderland, you've seen the opening fixture, it's come up West Ham. I think you're probably quite happy about that.
Yeah, considering how poor we were last season.
Yeah. Look what we did the same at Forest, didn't we? Went to Forest and got turned over there to the promoted side. That place was absolutely alive that day. I think we're going to face similar.
Look at when Arsenal went to Brentford on the opening day on the Friday that night, that year. Brentford, it was their first ever Premier League game, brand new stadium, absolutely rocking, 28,000 people or whatever it was, absolutely rocking. Arsenal come along, had finished second the previous season, came along, got beat, what was it, 3-1?
You don't even need to say the year, do you? Just say Arsenal finished second.
Here's a comment that my other half would actually agree with. Harry says most artists like to reinvent themselves now and again, or a reinvent of themselves now and again. Yeah, I'd go along with that. She's an artist. Stone Island says 13 watching, 10 likes, love it. Let's get 13 likes. That would be lovely. If we can get 13 likes, that would be great. Thank you, Stone Island. Yeah, Michael says, where's the money gone? Where's the money, Mr. Sullivan? Where's the money gone? And I would imagine that's to the chirpy, chirpy, cheap, cheap lyric tune.
Sorry, Bud. Just got to keep an eye out in case I get any couple of messages.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. No problem. Like myself, mate. It's a filling in job tonight.
I've got to watch out for my daughter in case she messages as well. So
yeah, that's fine, buddy. That's fine. If you have to shoot off, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, guys, this is the kind of like the West Ham review. That's why we're chatting a lot of West Ham stuff. Also, we normally do on a Thursday night. We normally do a Green Street Elite where we highlight a player from the past. We play a little video with some information about them, and we just have a chat and open the floor up to the chatters to give us some of their memories and stuff. Unfortunately, because so many things have been going on in my life, I haven't got one of them videos prepared for this week. But next week, back to normal, I promise. Right. But this week, the legend that I want to talk about is Jeff. Give us your comments about. No, I'm only playing. Good evening, Mr. Grant. Thank you for joining, Paul. Happy to have you on board, mate. Where are we? What else have we got? Evening. Talking about shoes. Right. Okay. So apparently, the egg with the eyebrows can hear, but not reply. Is that me? The egg with the eyebrows, or are we talking about Tony? Oh yeah, that must be what he's talking about. Yeah, it's definitely not me. Yeah, Michael says a happy camp at the moment, but if we start losing, how long will it last?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think we did see Potter under pressure a little bit last year, and I'm not sure he needed to be under quite as much pressure as he seemed to be at that time. And we have got a nice happy camp, everyone's smiling, and all in all, pre-season's gone pretty well.
Yeah.
But it all counts from Saturday onwards, and we have got a tricky little run of fixtures. And
definitely,
we could find ourselves stumbling in some of them games, and if things start going wrong, then we'll see how together they really are when the squeeze comes on a little bit. But hopefully we get off to a decent start, and they'll go from strength to strength.
Yeah, that's the hope and the plan. Anyway,
yeah.
Stone Island saying he went on a Hibs tour. It was pucker. Never met so many Scots and Irish that like West Ham. Very impressive. Yeah, actually, you get to hear that a lot. I mean, I've been wearing this all day, and I've been out and about, and people come up to me and they go, "Oh, West Ham, yeah, they're all right. They're doing all right again, aren't they?" They start talking
Don't
about
follow
West
us
Ham.
that closely, then.
Nah, and or someone will come up to you and go, "Oh, West Ham, yeah, they're my second team," and you go, "Oh, right, okay," and they go, "Yeah, yeah. Have you still got like what's his name, Mikel Antonio?" And I go, "No, he left," and they go, "Oh, right, about time," and things like that, But yeah, whenever anybody says, "Oh, yeah, they're my second team," you can guarantee they're not. It's the people that ask the right questions that are. Usual says Budgie Willis rocking the Die Hard look this evening. Mate, I'm really hot and I can't put my fan on because I've dented the fan, the grill around it. I've damaged it and it touches the blade. So it's like, honestly, it's like having a really badly tuned V8 running next to you. It's terrible. It's all the time. It's horrible. Where are we? Here we go. I'm only like, blimey. 8 minutes behind with the chat here.
Anything interesting in the chat, Budge?
Mainly talking to each other, saying good evening to each other. Harry says he shall be attending the 13th of September. I would assume that means the game. Hang on, look. I can actually, if I turn that off, any new comments that come up should come up in that little box below you now.
Oh, bloody hell. I'll have to make that bigger.
I can, just keep putting them up anyway.
Yeah.
I'll turn that off. I've just found out what that meant. Right, so this is clearly something that I haven't been aware that's been happening. Whoever it is needs to win by 2. Not sure they will. St. Pat's are having a go at Besiktas tonight. West Ham should have taken a punt on their keeper. Well, that's another thing. I think that Hermanderson is going to have a hard job to get in front of Areola unless he really does have a bad game.
I see Mum has just put a link in for Stone Island Hammer's YouTube channel. So
excellent. I'll throw that on the
I'll
screen
follow that in
right
and
now.
yeah, and I'll give you a sub, Stone.
Right, where are we? There it is. Look, right. Let's put that on the stage. Right, so everybody, that's Stone Island Hammer's YouTube channel, and I will definitely be subbing to you as well, mate. I'll leave that up on the screen for a little while we talk about this upcoming Carabao Cup draw against Wolves.
Oh yeah.
Now I know that's a couple of weeks away or more, but it's fucking typical that we get a Premier League opponent.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit of a tricky. It could be worse, but it is a little bit of a tricky draw. Really, it's one you could easily stumble and go out early, and I hope we don't.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this year because I've been watching a lot. Everyone say early doors. There was a lot of people being hysterical about we're going to get relegated and how dreadful we were, and so the optimism seems to have grown the closer we get to the season. And I'm not saying people think we're going to do especially well, but I don't think people are quite as fearful. I think they're worried about the midfield, rightly so, but hopefully we'll address that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And I just think that I'm not sure that how important is league position to West Ham, really. So when we were trying to finish in the European places and you're trying to be a top 6, top 7 side,
yeah,
then maybe your league finish is important and that's what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
But we're not really, I don't think we're there. And I don't think the expectation from West Ham fans is there, is it? And really, historically, that's not really what West Ham have been. Yeah.
No, of course. And you know, like we were spoilt for 3 years where we had European competition. And for a couple of years after that, we were mourning the loss of it, which is natural.
Yeah.
You know. But now I think we would be happy. I think generalizing from what I've seen and heard, Jeff, I think most of us would probably be happy with a top 10, top 11 finish this season.
Do you know what?
Just in and around the top 10.
I said it last year, really, and I'll say it again this year. I kind of don't care if we finish 12th. If we're not going to finish in the European places and we're not going to have a run at Europe, I kind of don't really care if we finish 12th to 14th. If we do a Palace or a Newcastle and go and win a cup, I wouldn't care. I don't care. That's the truth of it.
Yeah. Just want to read this comment out, Jeff. Stone Island says, anyone going up to Sunderland on 62 minutes, there is going to be a clap for a steward. Her name's Donna. Been there for years. Please show some respect. Come on, your irons. R.I.P. Donna. Absolutely.
Well, I hope that tribute goes well.
Well, I'll raise a glass on 62 minutes because I won't be up there.
No, I won't be up there either. I'll be there on Friday, though.
All right. Okay. Anyway. Right. So, Mandy's asking, how important is it for us to get a midfielder, a number 10, before the window closes? Now, I would go as far as to say that currently our current number 10 who wears the shirt, Lucas Paqueta, we're kind of in no man's land with him at the moment. Will he or won't he stay or go? You know? We're not sure. So
No.
I think, yes, it is important for us to get somebody in, somebody that could A, replace him, or B, challenge him for the position. Now, I think that would be a healthy signing. It would have to be somebody that's good box to box. And to be fair, to challenge him, they got to take a decent penalty as well. I mean, rarely does Paqueta miss a penalty. So,
I like the way he takes penalties, but he scores, right? But he gives me palpitations every time.
Oh, I know it does me, and I go to him, oh, for God's sake, why the duck movement, you know? But, you know, I call them duck penalties because he moves like a duck when he does it. But, you know, so, yeah, I mean, we've got to replace that as well, you know, the penalty ratio. I think he's missed one penalty but scored the rebound since he's been here.
But you saying, is this discussion in the, say, it's assuming that Paqueta leaves or that he stays?
No, this is on the on the knowledge that we are in no man's land with him. We don't know if he's coming or going.
No.
So I think we need someone that can challenge him for that position or replace him if he goes. You know, I think it's important that a number 10 is obtained. Yes.
But how many midfielders are we going to buy? That's the question.
Well, we haven't bought any really, have we, at the moment?
So how many are we going to buy?
Well, we need to buy at least 2. We need to.
So one of them's going to be the replacement number 10 or competition for number 10.
Yes.
And then another. Is that what you're saying?
Another. Yeah. Okay. Maybe competition for Alvarez.
I think a
sweeper type.
Been rumoured for a while that Alvarez wants to go for quite a long while, but seems to be growing in traction again that maybe he'll go this window. I know he went away and done his international stuff, so was late back and only sort of joined the squad late in America and hasn't really had a pre-season. So maybe that's part of the reason why we haven't seen him. But he's been a little bit frozen out by Potter, hasn't he, Alvarez? And
he has a little bit.
And this is why as well, when we talk about the midfield, and, you know, I know lots of people are really up to set to see Ward-Prowse playing or Souček playing. But if you think about it, he doesn't have an awful lot at his disposal, does he? Because if Alvarez is out of favour and he's playing Paqueta, and let's say he's playing Potts like he has been in pre-season, he has to play one of Souček, Ward-Prowse, Irving, or Rodriguez. Well, I mean, whatever your poison is, Souček or Ward-Prowse probably come out on top of that list, don't they?
I think you're right. At this current time, yeah, definitely. Yeah, but we've also got to remember
at our disposal, right?
Yeah, and we've also got to remember that we've got a young lad that's now capable of challenging both of those for their position in Freddie Potts. He's been absolutely incredible, and he's shown the maturity well beyond his years. I think that season with Portsmouth last season, I think it's really, really given him opportunity for his balls to drop, basically, you know. He's really
had a very
matured.
good pre-season, Freddie Potts. He had a very good pre-season last year.
You look at him with the media and that, though, Jeff.
Yeah, no.
He's been really, really good.
Last year, Budgie, under Lopetegui, and then he got shipped out on loan. I'm not saying that was a bad thing because he went on to have a terrific season. Yeah, one player of this year down there, they love him, didn't they? Yeah. So and he's come back and had another brilliant pre-season. And I think he has probably. He's got to have worked his way into
the squad.
Definitely into the squad, I would think. And even perhaps Potter's got to be seriously considering, does he start him at Sunderland.
Well, it's an option, isn't it? You know, I mean,
think especially if Alvarez is going to be on the naughty step, if you like.
Yeah.
So, but what I will say, I did think that the game passed him by a little bit in the Lille game. But I do think that's going to happen to him as well in games, and we've got to kind of accept that. He is going to have difficult games. He's probably going to make a few mistakes, and but he's shown that for me that he's got all the attributes to succeed. So
yeah,
I really hope he gets his chance and has a breakthrough season.
Yeah, and you know the thing is, it's not going to be lost on anyone that he's got, you know, a historical link to the club through his father, etc., etc. And the thing is that at this moment in time, West Ham really lack that cohesion of having a homegrown homeboy in the squad, in the team regularly. Mark Noble really was well, I suppose you could say Declan Rice, but you know, to be completely fair, for you know, boy and man, Mark Noble was the one that everybody looks to for the inspiration of what it means to represent this club, you know. And you know, Freddie Potts could be that next poster boy.
I suppose Noble's is the modern day Bonzo, I suppose, if you like.
Absolutely.
Every era, if you like.
Every era's got one. And, you know, for a moment there, Declan Rice was that. You know, he could have been the next one, but he chose to move on with his career, which is absolutely fine and admirable, you know. He's still only going to finish second, but let's not dwell on that. But I think Freddie Potts could be the next poster boy, you know, when it comes to West Ham born and bred.
If he cements himself in the team, he's got the status, hasn't he? He's got like the bloodline, like you say, you know, he's got West Ham running through him. So he's primed to be a legend, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, he is. Yeah, and look, Mama Flossie's even been gracious enough to put her own little channel on there. It's all dog videos, he says. You know, I don't know, Mama. What would you want videos from other people, you know, with their dogs or whatever? I don't know. Is that why you put that up as well? But hey, give her a sub, everybody. Give her a sub. Mandy says she would like to see the lineups first, and that's a good shout. That is a really good shout.
The lineup. I don't know. I missed that. What was that, Budgie? The lineups for the Sunderland game.
For the Sunderland game, yeah. She'd like to see them before she kind of commits herself to doom or gloom or joy.
Unless he throws a curveball and does something significantly different from what he's done in pre-season, we could pretty much guess the starting 11, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible that Guilherme might even get a start. He's been using him.
Do you know, the thing is, this is why part of the reason I don't like this formation, because I don't like Guilherme at left wing back.
No, not at left wing back.
And I think if we play a different formation, you can get a Guilherme in the team, and you can get a Bowen more wide. But everyone's got their own ideas, and that's mine. So I'm not a fan of the way Potter sets the team up. I'm not going to go on the warpath about it, but it's just not how I see the team and I see the personnel. But it is what it is, and that's why I think we struggled to get like a Guilherme into the team if he's going to set up the way he does. Left wing back, it's not people are worried about if Juff can defend, right? Well, he can fucking defend a lot better than Guilherme, because we already seen Guilherme, more of Guilherme than we have of Juff over a period of time.
Yeah.
And listen, I think Guilherme can be quite explosive, exciting. He looks like he's got a lot to offer, but his decision making is pretty poor. He takes rash shots, and he switches off and gets caught defensively in the middle of the park and all the time. So left wing back, I don't see that as a successful role for him at all.
Yeah. Pepsi, I love his sense of humour as well. Look, Arsenal Emirates Cup winners 2025.
I mean, I see Damien. I can't see all the comments because I can't keep up with them, but I just see Damien's put in a comment about a 4-2-3-1 with Guilherme and Bowen in there. But I tend to agree with that. I think if you do play that kind of formation, you can argue 4-2-3-1, 4-5-1. Just call it 4-5-1 and break it down however you want to, right?
Yeah.
You get Guilherme in a wide position further up the park. You get Bowen in his more natural position. Much happier with it. You still get to string your three across midfield because we ain't got two that are good enough to do the job there.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If we had different personnel, maybe we could, but with the options we've got, he has to have three in there. But I think we actually we even get exposed in this system by having those three there, but not having a bit more width across the pitch. I think it allows teams to onto us a little bit down, leaves us a bit narrow, and they can get down the flanks.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep up with this chat, and it's really difficult because I can only see two comments at a time.
Yeah, that's funny. Me too. I thought it was only me, Budgie.
No, it's because I'm on the phone and I am not on my laptop. So, but Stone Island's asking, is Alvarez leaving or staying? What's your opinion? I'm assuming that is Bud. For me, I think he's staying. I think he stays.
I think they want to get rid of him. I don't know whether they will. And I think he'd probably be happy to go if the right club come in for him. It's about how much they're not going to let him go. They want to get their money out of it, don't they? Not saying they're going to turn over whatever, but they'll have a figure, whatever it is, 25, 30 million that they have to achieve, right? They're not going to let him go for less than. Yeah. And I should imagine it's somewhere around there. So unless someone comes in with that, he's staying, right?
Yeah.
But I think they'd quite like to ship him out. I think I got a feeling Potter don't fancy him.
Yeah.
Or don't like what he brings. Something about him he don't like.
Mm-hmm. Damien replies to Stone Island, says he would keep him, meaning Alvarez. If I was manager, he would build the midfield around him and Paqueta. And that would be the ideal scenario as it stands right now, Damien.
Yeah, if you ask me what my preferred, if you're going to play, let's say we're going to set up like Potter does, what my preferred three would be, I'd quite like to see Alvarez, Potts and Paqueta out of the options that are at our disposal.
Yeah.
But I'm just not sure that we're going to see Alvarez because I'm not sure what the relationship is with Potter. And it's not just based on not seeing him in pre-season and he's back late because he's had his international duty. It's sort of, he's sort of, they don't seem to be getting on from last season. So I don't know. He seems to be another one that's happy, smiling. They're putting out pictures and whatever. Look how happy Alvarez is.
You look at the behind the scenes videos and you see a lot of what's happening behind the scenes of what they're showing. You see a lot of the peripheral stuff. And, Alvarez is always messing about. He wants to play pranks on everybody. You can see he does. But Damien goes on to say, he would use Alvarez as the 6, Paqueta as the 10, and add a box-to-box midfielder into the mix and Souček as cover. That's a really good shout. And that box-to-box
Nothing wrong with that.
midfielder, that box-to-box midfielder that I would throw into the mix right now is Freddie Pop. He's already at the club, and he can do the job.
Yeah, but you're asking a lot. This is the other thing about Freddie.
We asked a lot of Declan Rice when he turned, when he
that's true.
went in the midfield, and he coped with it brilliantly.
Yeah, no, that's true. But he's 19 years old, isn't he? And we're asking him now to step into the Premier League, be part of that midfield, like part of that engine room, an integral part of it, and we can rely on him week in, week out. And I absolutely hope that Freddie Potts can do that. I would love it if Freddie Potts could do that. Yeah. But I think if we're going in with the expectation that that's what we're going to get from Freddie Potts, I think we're asking a lot of the young lad. That's where I'm coming from.
Well, yeah,
I mean, not to ask to go, yeah, just that's it, you know.
Yeah, but also on that note though, Jeff, right? I know it's a completely different scenario, but the pressures would still be as great on the player. A 17-year-old Kylian Mbappe was, actually labelled as a potential or the next Ballon d'Or winner. That's a lot to put on a 17-year-old shoulders. And, the guy's now a man and he's, performing at the highest levels, I don't know if he's ever won the Ballon d'Or. I don't think he has he? But, I mean, that's a lot of pressure, but he lived up to it. Declan Rice coming into the first team, and, he was given the on-field captaincy when Mark Noble was absent from the field. That's a lot of pressure to put on a 19, 20-year-old lad, which is what he was when he first started, getting in, breaking in and playing without Mark Noble by his side. What was he, about 21 or something, wasn't he? And he coped with it brilliantly. You look at people like, what's his name, Devonshire. What was he? The most expensive teenager, wasn't he?
But you can take, like, I mean, as always, right? Whenever you say something, we go, oh, but this way we take examples of like huge successes, right? Go, yeah, but this one, but how many don't make like this one be? They took it in their stride, and so. As I said before, I really hope Freddie Potts does that. I hope we're looking at Freddie Potts in October going, fucking hell, we go, where we be, like, we can't do without him. He is
got world here.
Week in, week out. He's the glue, right? I hope that that's the case. But I think if we're going into the season, like putting that on him, like that's you. You're gonna like. You're asking a real big lot of that. And if he takes that on and he does it, brilliant. But we can't just rely on that. So if we're not going to sign anyone because we've got Freddie Potts, not sure about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Tony's popped in to say good evening to us both.
Evening, Tony. Thank you for having me on your platform.
Yeah, happy. Apologies, he couldn't be live tonight. It's all right, mate. We get it. The Chinese and the Carlin Black Label's far more important. Tony, good of you to pop your head in, son. Who else have we got here? Oh, look at that. Thanks, Harry. He says, Budgie and Lounger are doing you proud, Tom.
Thanks, Harry.
Bless you, mate.
I've got to get another can of Coke. It's red hot in here and I'm thirsty.
Yeah, go on, mate. You do that. I'll go through some of the comments, mate.
Go on,
Tony says, evening to Stone Island. If you need help with the channel, you know where he is. Well, that's it, mate. And Tone, I'm presuming that you would have a banner with your email address on it. I can throw up. Look, no, not that kind of throw up. I'm looking now. Where is it? Not there. Right, okay. Not to worry. Tone, put your email address in there, mate, and then you can be contacted. Yep. Actually, yes. It was yesterday, wasn't it? Or yeah. Anyway.
Too bright now. Turn the light on, Budge.
Oh yeah, I can see you now.
Yeah, I know. See,
I
get
was,
up. I turn the light on.
I was beginning to think you was a bit of a vampire, mate, afraid of the light. Yeah. Yeah. So it's Howard's birthday yesterday or today, one or the other.
Happy birthday.
There we go. Right. Right. Okay. Damien's saying that Jeff is a realist. That's true. I like Potts and I'm happy we produce quality players, but I'm not sure we should be relying on him. I agree with James from E20. The likes of Potts and Scholes should be seen as bonuses. That's a good shout from both yourself.
That's my sentiments exactly. I think it's. I hope Scholes gets his opportunities, and it was interesting. A couple of times in pre-season, he pushed Scholes inside into that left-hand centre-back role.
Right.
I'm not sure if we're going to see him there in the Premier League, but maybe in a cup game, we might see something like that. And maybe he'll get some minutes. Maybe we might actually play a back four. It doesn't look likely right now, but we could do. Scholes could play in a back four, and maybe we'd see a bit of him there. I hope we see a bit of Scholes and Potts, and I hope they become like quite integral parts of the team. But I definitely agree with the sentiment that they should be they're bonuses. They shouldn't be like that's our reliance. And if they come in and elbow people to the side, go, that's my shirt, yeah, brilliant. I'm all for that.
Yeah, definitely. Good evening, Rob. Thank you for joining, buddy. There we go. Thank you, Ton. Thank you very much, mate. So it's Hammers Football TV at gmail.com. So I'm going to leave that on there so you can write that down. What was his name? The other fella that was
in the chat?
Yeah, the one that's got his little channel started.
Stone Island, was it?
There he is, Stone Island. Of course it is. Yes, there it is. So I'm just going to leave that on there so you can write it down, Stone Island. And I don't mean any disrespect by saying little channel. We all start off. My channel, I still haven't got any more than 300 subs on mine. I'm really not really too worried about that because I do stuff with other people and I enjoy it just as much, if not more. So Ian says that he hopes that Potts does really well. But do we know of any other Premier League team that would be throwing all their eggs into the basket of such a young midfielder? It's ridiculous. Far too much pressure for him. And I do get your point, Ian. I really do. But he ain't going to be in there on his own, is he? Let's be fair. You know, he's going to have Alvarez. You know, he's quite an experienced general now.
Is he going to have Alvarez, though, Budgie? That's a serious. There's a serious question mark for me over whether he will or not have Alvarez in there. So I'm not convinced he's going to play.
Who do you replace Alvarez with?
Well, if he's setting up pretty much the way he has through pre-season, and he's played a pretty settled side through there, then if he starts Potts, it's probably Potts, Paqueta, and JWP or Souček, and most likely JWP starting.
Yeah, I think he's probably one of the first names on his, play his starting list, starting 11. He does
No,
like
he
him,
might
doesn't
he
he?
might put Alvarez in there, but if he puts Alvarez in there, I don't know if he plays Potts. I think I don't know. I just don't know.
Damon's agreeing with you again, look, Jeff. He said, exactly, Jeff.
I'll get a name for myself if Damien keeps agreeing with me.
I know, mate, yeah. Yeah. You'll be an ITK in a minute, mate. You watch. Right. That's a really good comment, Mr. Carpenter. Ward-Prowse is named as vice captain. Does that mean that he plays every week?
I don't know if it does or not. I think it means he plays. I mean, we sort of touched on this when we were chatting earlier about the midfield situation. I think he plays every week at the moment because he sees him as his best option of what he's got available. And as fans and whatever, we might all debate that and we might all disagree with it. But as I said before, I think if it comes down to it in the heat battle of a Premier League game and you've got to pick Souček or Ward-Prowse over Rodriguez or Irvine, Souček or Ward-Prowse gets in above them every time. One of them's playing before the other two every time.
Yeah.
And that's because we ain't got... That's a personnel issue, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe you could say it's a formation issue and he could utilise people differently because he could play a system without Ward-Prowse or Souček in it. But I still think most systems probably do include a Souček or Ward-Prowse for who's at the football club.
Yeah. I like this comment from Corky here, actually. He says, sadly, Alvarez is one of our better midfielders. The fact that he hasn't had game time puts us up in an even bigger hole than we should have been in.
Yeah.
And I go along with that because I think Alvarez is an incredibly good midfielder for us.
No,
I'm not saying he's the best in the world. Yeah. I'm not saying he's the best in the world, but he is a very good midfielder.
But I just think there's something going on there, whether it's and I think this is why he's not featuring much, and this is why I question whether he's going to be in the team.
Yeah. Stone Island said the vice captain was Creswell. He didn't play everywhere, to be fair. And to be fair, Stone Island, he got that vice captaincy because of the amount of time he spent at the club and the fact that he's been a stalwart of the club for 11 years. Well, by the time he left, it was 11 years. But he got that vice captaincy because he was one of the senior players in the squad as far as time spent at the club.
I mean, we could read into it about, does it mean this, does it mean that? If we break down the squad, we've just been talking about the squad and what's there, what's available. Okay, let's talk about captaincy and vice captaincy then.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're going to not have Ward-Prowse as a vice captain, who is a vice captain? And even the question marks over Bowen, all the question marks are Bowen's not a captain, this, that, and the other. So let's take the captaincy off of Bowen. Let's take the vice captaincy off of JWP. Let's look at our squad and who's our captain and who's our vice captain. There's not many candidates, is there?
Well, I think the most outstanding candidate for captaincy has to be Thomas Souček. Even though people are going to say he's not going to play enough, I believe, at this moment in time, he's the sort of player that we do need to be playing enough.
Ariola's not a captain, is he? Hermansson's just in the door.
Yeah.
Dufour Scarles in that position. That's
far
not
too young.
No captains. No, none of those across the centre backs are captains, are they?
Kilman, maybe he was at Wolves.
Yeah, maybe he was, but he don't look like if people are saying Bowen's not a captain, Kilman don't look much like a general at the back to me. Give him the captain's armband. Wan-Bissaka, he's not getting it. KWP's not getting it.
No.
Moving to the midfield, okay. Souček, he's a candidate. Alvarez ain't getting it. I don't think Paqueta's getting it, but maybe you could give it to him just on seniority.
Yeah.
Right? You're not giving it to Guilherme, Somerville, any of the other. The only other bleak candidate is Fulcrook, and he's only been here a year and he ain't played hardly. So there's not many captain, vice captain candidates, really, in my opinion.
And the only other one that you've forgotten to mention is Callum Wilson, who's only just walked.
Okay, well, yeah, that's it. Let's give him the fucking armband. Jesus Christ. I can't believe we give him a contract. Never mind a fucking captain's armband. Jesus. Now, do you know what I mean?
Stop mincing your words and say what you mean. Fucking hell, geezer. Oh, mate. I love it.
Do you know what I mean? This, who really is there? Either got no service or there's a limited choice. In fact, if you take the captaincy off of Bowen and you haven't sold Souček, he's the only one who can be captain, isn't he?
Yeah. Good evening to Mr. Green, Eamon. Haven't seen you in a little while, sir. He says, why so negative? I'm actually glad Potter is going to use the youth. Yeah, he's obviously confident in them. Perhaps we should also be.
I don't know if
fans complain enough that the youth don't get a chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think
very good points.
Being negative, or if I was being, if I came across like that when I'm talking about pots and skulls and the like, I don't mean that at all, because I really hope they succeed. And I think it's great that potentially they're gonna get their chance. I was just sort of referring to, I think it's unfair to like going with the expectation on their shoulders that I think that's, but no, I really hope that. So I'm definitely not being. I hope I'm being grounded, but if that comes across as negative, well, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry, mate. We're all entitled to our opinions. We have to have them. Otherwise, shows like this don't work. And Rob says that he thinks that Kilman would have been a better shout for vice captain.
Maybe vice captain, yeah, maybe.
You know, I mean, with vice captaincy, you're expected to act appropriately as a captain, you know. So for me, I think maybe it would have made him step up that side of his game if he had been given vice captaincy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, look, from the reports and things that I've seen from Wolves fans, you know, he was a good captain for Wolves.
Here's the thing about Ward-Prowse, say, for example, and I know he's a bit, I feel like, I don't want to be like a Ward-Prowse fanboy or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's been a bit of a whipping boy for getting selected.
I get you.
And I think he's been singled out a couple of times as being absolutely dreadful when I don't think he was actually as bad or any worse than anyone else.
No, but the thing is, I think what's really bugging most people about him is that it's his negativity when he's got the ball at his feet.
I get that. But what I'm going to say about the vice captaincy, though, is he's a consummate professional, right?
Ex-captain of Southampton.
So when we're debating about who do you give authority roles to in the football club, here we are, we've got, you know, established pro, he does everything right, been captain before. I mean, he's like a proper, if he was putting his CV in, if they all put their CVs in, you know, he'd be a standout candidate amongst the CVs, I would say. So, yeah. And, like I say, the problem is, at the moment, JWP is Potter's answer, and JWP is not the answer. But we don't.
Actually, I was watching a Hammer's chat thing, and I'm pretty sure, if I remember rightly, it was this man here that actually put the question into the chat. I'm fairly sure it was Damien, and he said, if JWP's the answer, what the hell is the question? Or something of that. I'm fairly sure. Damien, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was you that said it. What a great question! What a great comment! You know, if he is, and like he says, you know, he don't mean to get on at Potter about things from last season, but playing JWP as the 6 and Alvarez as the 10 was insane.
Oh, it's just madness, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we all know actually that JWP, he wears the shirt number that he should be playing, which is an 8. He should be playing an 8 role because that he does decent job at. He doesn't do a decent job as a 6. He don't do a decent job as a 10. But
probably,
you know, the first when he first came in, his first few games when he first arrived at West Ham, right? Ain't nobody telling me he weren't worth a shout. Like, he was decent. He was getting goals.
He made a big impact when he arrived, didn't he?
He
came in
did.
and with quite a splash.
Yeah, and he worked really well with Bowen. It was going really nicely. And then there was the interruption of not getting picked and being sent on loan to Nottingham Forest, where he didn't get a game.
I don't know. The gaps. I don't know if the gap is as quite as small as that. I just think he's one of them players. Was he 28, 29? He's just getting, and now the Premier League is quicker, more physical, more demanding than ever, and it's harder and harder to compete. He's not really like a physical specimen, is he? So you see him going in for challenges, he gets brushed off a little bit easy at times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Can he do a job? Can he go off? Yeah. Can he do a job?
Look, let me ask you.
Probably not so well.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Jeff.
Yeah.
After I've read this comment out, Usual says he'd have Souček, not many more loyal players like him.
Yeah, agreed.
Right, now let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
Was JWP being appointed vice captain as laughable as Kurt Zouma being appointed captain?
Well, as fans, we all did a little bit to Zouma what we did to Bowen when he got the armband after a while. Well, I don't know if he's captain, Mitchell. I'm not sure he's a leader. We don't see it. And then when you find out after about Zouma, he was actually really, really well respected and well thought of as a captain. We just didn't really see that from the terraces, as it were.
Right, yeah.
And I think that's true of Bowen as well, because I think on the pitch, you know, you often refer to it about the weight of the armband on Bowen or some of his performance because he's the captain and it takes it seriously. And I do think Bowen does take it very, very seriously, by the way.
He does. He does. I mean, like, he finds himself.
And no, I think he's grown into that role, captaincy role,
which we spoke about last year, Jeff, on your channel, and we said that we felt that he might grow into it. In fact,
I do think he has. I think
Mick was involved in that conversation as well, I believe.
The only thing
we said that we thought he might grow into
it. Being a captain, but you know that's just
I think actually now he's thriving on being the top guy at West Ham. You know, I think he's actually
we've got
thriving on that.
Who wants to be captain, who really means something to be captain of West Ham, and I think that's brilliant. But and for fans, right, that is like.
Yeah, for him to sign a 7-year contract or 8-year or whatever it was, for him to sign that length of contract, and then to earn the right to be wearing that armband, which does carry a lot of weight, by the way, he finds himself now in the same company as people like Mark Noble, Bobby Moore, you know, Billy Bonds. You know, he's in that company now. He's wearing that armband the same way them guys had to in their day, right? And so he's in esteemed company with this club. You know, we idolise those captains that I mentioned, plus Paolo Di Canio, if you want to throw him in as well. You know, and I thought Lucas Neal was a great captain. But, you know, so Bowen has followed on a long line of really powerful characters in that position. And don't get me wrong, powerful character he isn't, an endearing character he is. He's not a powerful character like you would have had from, like, Bobby Moore, for example. Although he was very proper and everything had to be right around him, his words carried weight every time he spoke, you know. And I think Bowen's learning that process as he goes along, how much weight carries on every word he speaks as the captain of this club.
I think some of the things we wanted to see of a captain on the pitch that we didn't see from Bowen initially, I think we are starting to see some of those things now. And he does kind of almost get a player by the scruff of the neck or whatever. I think you could see more of that in games, not in the same way as Noble did, but come on, Noble was just like an institution at the football club now. Bowen's got a little way to go before he's that. But I definitely think going into that captain's role, he looks well respected. Well, we spoke about it earlier. The group looks in really good shape. They look really, really happy.
Yep.
Camaraderie looks good. I loved when Fulkrug scored the other day and done the little samba dance towards Paqueta and all that. And I just think that shows, you know, just a little insight into some of the good relationships that are going on. And the banter must be good. And yeah, if we can click and get off to a good start, who knows? We could have a better season than all the doom and gloom and the worry. And you know, we might get one or two players in through the door yet who might just
surprise us,
catalyst and change everyone's outlook. I'm a bit disappointed about the striker thing though, because I touched on it earlier, but I know some have softened on the idea, others are dead against it, but I'm really not very happy about Callum Wilson. I'm not happy about it on a number of levels.
I'm with you, mate. I'm absolutely with you with that.
I don't like the fact that he's knocked the club back about 3 times and near enough laughed in our faces.
Yeah, and now he's like ready to finish his career.
Pension fund, right? So that really pisses me off a little bit. And I would have took him all them years ago. I would have signed him. Even after the first time he knocked us back and we went back in for him, I think I would have signed him then. But after he knocked us back the second time, like, go fuck yourself. Or I wouldn't have. So all that sticks in my throat, if you couldn't tell, a little bit. And then he sort of took the piss out of the club at every opportunity he can in recent years.
Yep. Absolutely.
He seems to revel in scoring against us. Mind you, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's what a striker's job is, to score goals. So if he's not playing for you, his job's to score against you. So I can't really hold that against him. Just apart from the fact that, you know, pisses you off when players score lots of goals against you, doesn't it?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Mickey's out the door. And Callum Wilson is in, and he gets the number 9 shirt, and all that just don't really sit very well.
It sticks in the throat a little bit, doesn't it? You know,
I'm not even sure I would have kept Mickey either, if I'm honest.
No,
there's something that don't sit right about how it's turned out. So,
but let's have it right. Let's have it right though. Mickey didn't care about the number 9 shirt.
No, but I'm just saying that's me.
He didn't want it. He wanted to keep the number 30 shirt.
I'm saying it's me. It's me. it sticks in my throat. It probably don't matter to Mickey that he's got the number 9 shirt, right? But for me, I don't know. I just think it's almost like Sully fucking sticking his fingers up at Mickey after 10 years or something.
Yeah.
But
You
he
know,
had a
listen,
contract put in front of
they
him. Here's the
stuck
other
by him
side.
after his accident.
He had a
You know,
contract put in front of him.
Yeah.
He didn't want to sign it. He didn't think it was good enough. He's ended up leaving the club. It is what it is. It's not all. You know, there's two sides to it.
Also,
But yeah, I'm just not happy about. And
you know,
done,
I wasn't too happy about his comments in the media, though. To be fair,
and also
you know,
what's done for me is I would have liked to have seen a Hoyland or someone on loan, and now I think there's just no chance of that, right?
Yeah.
So that's blocked a move like that for me, so that we can have an injury-prone, over-the-hill striker.
Yeah. Damien saying, Jeff, you say that about the captains. There's a lot of people in the squad who have been captains at a high level. It's down to Potter to create leaders, and there is some validation. There is some, you know.
There is, but leaders will just lead. They don't need an armband, do they, to be a leader? If they're leaders, then they'll go out on the pitch. They know their roles, and they'll take on that leadership role. So,
absolutely,
you know, just pinning an armband on you don't make you a leader. It just gives you the title. So, you know, they could go out there and show it. And should be 11 captains on the pitch and all that. That saying, well, not every player who takes the field is a captain, and you can see it. But there's something in that. The leaders just go out there and lead in your own roles.
Yeah. James, thank you very much. E20 Zone for TV. If you haven't already checked him out, go and check him out. Give him a sub. I'm sure his details will be, his link will be in the chat anytime soon. But yeah, thank you so much for that. Get Sullivan out now. I absolutely bloody agree with that.
Not going to get many fans that are going to argue with that sentiment, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah. Damien said, give me Socek over JWP any day of the week and fair twice comment. On a Sunday.
No, fair comment. I like Socek. I'm not a Socek hater. I think I just think he's been a brilliant servant to the club. I think we could say, is it time to be using him sparingly? Would it be nice to have a much better midfield that he didn't feature in it? Yeah, of course it would. But not going to hate on him. I think he's been brilliant and he's shed blood for us more than one occasion. Yeah, absolute stalwart.
Absolutely. And Damien's got a valid point here. He says, the league's outgrown JWP. There's no shame in it. Anyone who has played football has been there, playing at a level which is just above you.
I agree with that.
I do. And, I've got to be honest with you. I was still trying to play against 25-year-olds at 40 years old, and it was impossible. I mean, that's just at grassroots level, but it's impossible to play the game at that kind of level when your levels are dropping because of your age and so on and so forth.
Yes, like I'm saying, it's just sort of, it's getting to the end. We're asking a bit much of. It's a good player. It's a good time. Guido Rodriguez. It's a good, tidy footballer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Premier League's just too fast for him, right? Simple.
Yeah. But Socek seems to have a knack of being able to just put his foot on it and slowing it down just a tad.
It comes on him against Lille, and he's the one who gets to the byline and doesn't. It's not the greatest pullback, but it's good enough for Fulcrum to tuck away in the corner. And he's got an assist to his name, And you might look at it and go, "What else does he do?" But I think he does do things that he don't get a lot of credit for. He does a lot of donkey
Of course
work.
he does. A lot of his nod downs and he holds up play and lays balls off. All right, so his passing ain't 100%. And, but listen, his effort, his commitment to the shirt, to the club, is 150%. You know, and like he's the sort of player that this club has to have at least one of them. You know,
Yeah.
Somebody that's prepared to wear the badge and a bandage at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and there's not many of them around anymore.
No,
He's one.
they're
I
dying
think,
as well.
and I think Alvarez is one of those though. I think he's one of them guys that would
I
quite
think he's just a
happily,
bit of a
you
nutter.
know, come out with a bandage round his head in the second half because he's had his eye gassed open or whatever. You know, I think he's quite like that. What's his face? Yeah, him, Alvarez. That's the fella. Right. So Iron says, "I'm Disciple. Good evening, mate." He says Alvarez and Emerson have been running into static with old Potter, saying he's been coming down on the two players for showing up late to training. Well, if that is the case, you can't blame Potter, can you?
I
If
did
you're
hear a bit
turning,
about Emerson, about him. You know, he repeatedly turned up late, and there's been sort of rumours that he wants to leave for a while. And I tell you what, I think Emerson's another one. Actually, I think he's been a really good servant to the football club as well. But he's another one. If we're talking about JWP just being a little bit off it, I think Emerson's been a little bit off it, and I think Emerson's been a little bit off it even since the back end of Moyes' days. And I think he might have even wanted to leave when Moyes left and stuck around an extra season, and he's had Lopetegui and Potter, and he ain't fitting in. And Emerson's on his way, and that's what I say. I don't know if Alvarez is in the same bomb squad as Emerson. You know.
Yep. Apparently, Shamrock Rovers are winning 3-0 tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Are they in the is that a Champions League qualifier or something?
I don't know what it is, mate.
Or is it just a pre-season or something?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It might be like Europa League or something. Maybe I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Brendan or Usual can tell us because they are both keeping an eye on it. Right. So Iron says he still thinks that Potter would play on that 5 in the back, transforming wing-back system, even if he had every ingredient to play an attacking team. That's just his opinion. And you're probably right.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, we haven't seen. He's looking pretty nailed on with that. It doesn't look like he's wanting to change that at all at the moment. There's no inclination of trying anything different. So it would be a major surprise if, come Saturday, we line up with 4 at the back. I mean, is anyone predicting that? I can't believe they are. So it looks like we're going to get what we're going to get from it. Yeah. I'm not the hugest fan of it, as I've said before. It's not what I would do, and I don't know. We'll see. I think it stifles us in some areas.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're going to play Fulkrug and Bowen, I think I'd rather play 4-4-2.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, thank you for that, Iron. That's a good comment, mate. Challenge Annika, Budge. Oh dear. So Fly Fox is saying that Fulkrug celebrates other people's goals like he's just scored the winner in the World Cup. He genuinely seems to be a true team player.
He does.
Loves seeing his team score and supporting his teammates. And that's a really good point, Fly Fox. You know,
I agree. I agree with that sentiment. Exactly.
I do too.
I think he summed him up really well there.
Yeah, because what you've got to look at, right, is that we've had Antonio for some time now, and we all know Antonio's character traits and stuff. And yes, he does love to celebrate with the boys, but he loves it when they're celebrating his goals, mainly, right? That's mainly the image I have of his celebrations. They're about him, mainly. Whereas even when Fulkrug scored that goal the other day, like you rightly said, he did the Brazilian samba dance with
I love
Paqueta,
that. I
you
love
know,
that.
and that just goes to show that he's kind of paying homage to one of his teammates. To
Yeah,
me,
no, I really enjoyed that because I
I did.
like the camaraderie and
Yeah,
even the little bit of piss take because apparently they've been having a bit of banter about how they're dancing and
yeah,
stuff like that. So just think it shows, as we said earlier, like how good things are in the dressing room, the
yeah.
togetherness, the team
And
spirit
the other thing, of
seems to
course,
be
he
really
said,
upbeat.
Fulkrug has said that he's never had a song made up about him before, and this,
Fulkrug.
yeah, and now
And now he's the big fucking German.
every time he's the big fucking German, that's it now. That's
Yeah, yeah.
him. As far as he's concerned, that's his song, you know.
Well, it is,
And
isn't it?
it is, yeah. And yeah, so he's never had a song sung about him before, and he's loving life in London at the London Stadium with the
He's
boys
been
he's playing with.
happy. I see
He's
Happy's just
loving
popped
life.
in the chat.
You can see it. Look how good he looks at the moment as well, Jeff. I mean,
Yeah,
in
he
shape.
does. He does.
He looks fit as a butcher's dog, mate.
No,
And
I agree. I
that's
agree.
lovely to see for a guy of, what is he, 29, isn't he, at the moment?
He looks hungry as well, right? And he's been scoring, this what I was saying about the pre-season. He's been scoring in pre-season. Bowen's been scoring in pre-season. I hope we can carry it into the season.
Yeah, yeah. That is the hope. That is what we need, So we've been going for an hour and 40, so
That's
we'll
me,
kind of,
blimey.
we'll kind of start winding it down a bit.
Yeah,
Jeff.
no. Well, time
Um,
flies when you're having fun, Budgie.
it does indeed, yeah. I want to thank you first of all for co-hosting with me. I
Oh,
would have
no,
been,
pleasure, Budgie.
I
And
would have been
thanks to
quite
Tony for
uncomfortable on
inviting
my
me.
own. Yeah. Thanks to Tone for supplying us the platform to moan and groan. It's been quite a pleasure. But I'm going to skip through some of the comments because we are going to start winding it down. There are a lot of comments about some of the players, including Callum Wilson, about why the hell have we done that, etc.
I know it's been well covered, but obviously I've been off for a while, and it's the first time I've actually had a chance to rant on camera about it. So I do apologise to all those that are going, "Oh God, not again." But
Fly Fox, I just want to read this one out. It was interesting to compare Kudus, see his Spurs teammates score, and his lack of a reaction to Fulkrug jumping out of the stadium when Bowen scored in a friendly.
yeah.
And that's what we kind of touched on a few moments ago, where, that's the difference. Kudus has gone because he thinks he's going to a European champion, which they are, in fairness. And they've got, the trophy that's considered more prestige than the one we won.
I think they've shown that they haven't shed their full Spursiness though after the other night, being 2-0 up and fucking ended up losing the game in 5 minutes.
Hi, babe. I was looking at something on West Ham forum earlier on Facebook, and somebody put new season, same Spurs.
Yeah, full Spursy, and the season ain't even started yet. I think it's brilliant.
And I respectfully disagree with you, but it's the same season, even better Spursy.
Yeah. Oh man, 2-0 up, 5 minutes to play.
I know, and then lose it on penalties. What a bunch of Spurs!
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. Listen, it's been a pleasure having you on here, Jeff.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, look, look who's arrived.
I know. I said to you, you missed it. I think you was not listening.
I'm fucking miles behind, aren't I? Well, actually, no, that was only what? 39:43. It's only 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, I don't think Happy's been here too long.
Yeah, look, she's just for fuck's sake, she's missed it all. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're a busy jet setter like you are, girl. You know, jet setter. She'll laugh at that. Right, yes. Fly Fox says he remembers the story that came out last year. The full group wanted to leave and he hadn't settled. Sure seems like bollocks now. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, there's lots of that, though, isn't there? So Fulcrook was leaving, he wanted to go. Paqueta was off. If he got cleared, he was going. That was there.
Yeah.
Kudus was going for 85 million. We didn't get near that for him. Alvarez wants out the door. Maybe he still goes. Who knows? But there was going to be a mass exodus, right, of all of our assets and our players, anything that was saleable. We've sold one bloody player. Now we want to get rid of a few more. Part of the problem is we can't shift some of them, right? No one bloody wants them, right? But the fear of being stripped of anyone who was worth anything hasn't. 2 weeks left, so don't want to speak too soon, but that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Paqueta's still here. We've just lost Kudus, basically.
Yeah. Matt, I think we should make that actually the banner for every YouTube channel that like in the world.
What does
I
it
want
say?
more Spursiness from Spurs. I think that's it now, mate. There's a few other comments coming in, obviously. Like, guys, thanks, guys. Great stream. Thank you, Mama. And thank you very much for your hard work as a moderator. You've always done everybody proud that you've moderated for, so thank you. Oh, look, apparently Ladyship was running some sort of quiz. There you go. Frog, you are such an idiot. Apparently, I showed a picture of Lanzini in halter front trousers, whatever that might be. I have no idea what that is. Anyway, listen, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming. There you go. Look, there's your link to Jeff's channel. Thanks, Mama.
Thanks, Mama. Thank you.
You're an angel. Thank you for that. And we will catch up with you very soon. Jeff will be. Sorry, not Jeff. Why would I say Jeff? Not Jeff. Tony will be back with his usual scheduled and
Sunday night takeaway or the good bad.
He does the Sunday night takeaway, the Tuesday talk show. No, that's you.
Yeah.
No, sorry, he does the good, the bad, and the ugly on a Wednesday, and then of course next Thursday, hopefully, he'll be back here with me doing the West Ham review. Sorry if this was a little bit disjointed, but this was a last minute thing for both of us, really, to be fair.
Yeah, and I'm definitely a bit rusty.
But I want to thank you for jumping in, Jeff. It's really appreciated. I know Tony appreciates it as well, buddy.
Yeah, it was lovely coming.
Yeah, and I have now got to find the right outro.
I just want to say thanks to all the viewers and everyone in the chat, all the chatters, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys on Tuesday when we come back.
Yep. Tuesday talk show on the Bowling Lounge at 8 o'clock Tuesday evening UK time with Jeff, Mick, and myself, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope you can join us this week.
Providing all the parallels fall into place, it'll be the three of us. Nice one, mate. Take care. And everybody, don't forget, come on, you Irons.